Hello and welcome to Who Is Best, or in this case, Which Is Best, a show where I look at and take games that give you choices and rate those choices in a tier list. And today we have a very special request from one of my first Patreon members, Kelly Cardinal, who requested a tier list of all the guns in Resident Evil 4 Remake. But we're not going to stop there. We will also have a bonus list at the end of this video rating all the guns in RE4 Classic as well, because I go all out for my Patreon members. Join and request your list today. Alright, let's get into it. Resident Evil 4 may be one of the single greatest games ever made. Upon release, it completely changed the landscape for third-person shooters while simultaneously reviving the survival horror genre. Because of its renown, RE4 was recently remade, and the only thing it didn't do better than its predecessor is give Ashley lines like this.
I see that the president's equipped his daughter with ballistics too.
How rude! And I don't believe there's any relevance with my figure and my standing.
Wow.
Oh, and don't forget about this gem.
So, after you take me back to my place, how about we do some, overtime?
Sorry.
In RE4 Remake, you can access a massive selection of guns, either found through your playthrough, purchased by the merchant, or obtained upon beating the game. Now there are a few things to consider in this list, mainly accessibility, firing rate, power and accuracy, but I'm also going to throw in one more. And that is, how powerful do you feel while playing? This is a survival horror game after all. If a gun makes you feel more capable, it's pretty much going against what the game wants you to feel, which in my mind means that it is, in a sense, broken. So the best weapons would minimize or completely eliminate those feelings. Anyway, remember to stick around till the end for a bonus list of RE4 Classics guns as well. Let's begin with the tier. The Punisher is a terrible handgun with decent penetration ability. It can be used while holding a shield and can damage enemies if they are lined up just right. Aside from that, you'll most likely never use this weapon as it fails to surpass your default handgun. The SR M1903 is your first rifle. It has the worst firing rate, seeing as you have to reload after every shot. This can be an issue in tight spots as the reload animation can leave you wide open. Sure, it's powerful, but unless you're absolutely sure you are in a safe situation, you probably won't use it. The low tier. The Skull Shaker is a deluxe edition exclusive shotgun. It's small, so it doesn't take much room in your inventory, but it's the weakest of all the shotguns and has the lowest amount of shots per reload. The Sentinel Nine is another deluxe edition weapon and is better than the Punisher in almost every way. It has a high firing rate and can get a buff to its critical damage, but overall you'll replace this weapon early on with something that has a little more punch. The W70 is your first in-game shotgun, and despite a terrible firing rate, it is very powerful for crowd control and early boss fights that demand you get close and personal. The submachine guns are okay in RE4. They're probably one of the worst gun types overall as they don't really excel in any one area. You obtain the LE5 in the late game, and fully upgrading it fails to be more powerful than the TMP. Alright, we're going to split the mid-tier into two groups, so let's begin with the lower mid-tier. The Chicago Sweeper is unlocked by beating the professional mode with an A rank. This means that it's completely inaccessible in your first playthrough. Due to this, and despite its infinite ammo perk and impressive firing rate, the Chicago Sweeper landed in the lower mid-tier. The Matilda is Leon's trusty handgun from RE2. If given its stock, the Matilda boasts an incredible 3-point burst of damage, and is one of the best guns for quick firepower. That being said, this thing eats through your ammo, making it a win-lose situation. Magnums are another weapon type that struggles to find its place over other weapon types. They're powerful, but ultimately don't hit those high notes of accuracy and versatility. The HandCannon is the lowest of these, as you either need to beat the game or get S rank on all stages in the Free the Merchant DLC in order to receive it. The CQBR is a mid-game rifle with a focused shot and large damage potential. The reason this powerful rifle landed on the lower mid-tier is because you get access to the Stingray 3 chapters before. making this weapon obsolete. Alright, let's move on to the upper mid tier. The SG-09R is your default handgun and an above average weapon with massive crit upgrades and accuracy. Because of its accessibility and usefulness throughout the early and mid game, it landed itself just barely on the upper mid tier. The TMP with a stock is a wicked fast alternative to your handgun. It has amazing reload speed, and with its exclusive upgrade, it can become the most powerful submachine gun in the game. Alright, let's do something controversial. Next up on this list is the Red 9. The Red 9 is arguably one of the better handguns in RE4. It's accessible in the early game, and with its stock can be deadly accurate. My only issue is its stats, which aside from power, it has some of the worst in the game, ultimately meaning that it is better to invest in one of the other handguns. Though in the end it can be slightly better than the Broken Butterfly, the Killer 7 is held back by its crit rate up exclusive upgrade. This makes it less effective against bosses. The Broken Butterfly is the best overall magnum in RE4. It's powerful, obtained in the mid game, and despite a slow reload speed, it can be used effectively against single target enemies who require staggering damage. The top tier. The Riot Gun is the second best shotgun in the game and one of the better weapons in RE4. It has high power and staggering ability with incredible stats and is accessible in the mid game. The main issue is its cost compared to the Striker, which means that it will most likely be a weapon you pick up on a second or third playthrough. The Bolt Thrower is a unique weapon with reusable ammo. The main reason this landed in the top tier is twofold. One is that it helps you save ammo in the early game. This is incredibly useful since ammo will be scarce. The second is that it can be enhanced with explosives, making it a pseudo rocket launcher. The Stingray is your best semi-automatic rifle and perfect for sniping out pesky zombies. It has everything the SRM-1903 has, plus better firing power, firing rate, accuracy, and pretty much everything else. The Stingray will be a mainstay in your arsenal. The Blacktail is the single best handgun in RE4. It's accessible in the mid game with incredible stats and everything other than power. That being said, with the Blacktail's exclusive upgrades, it actually catches up to the Red 9, rounding out its faults and taking its place as one of RE4's best weapons. And that leads us to the God tier. The Striker. It's as simple as that. The Striker is your crowd control weapon with epic firing rate, power, and speed. It's small, so it'll fit nicely in your inventory and can be obtained in the early game. Once obtained, you will use this weapon throughout your entire playthrough, and its usefulness will never diminish, making this the single best gun in RE4. And the final weapon on the list, and top of our God tier, is the Rocket Launcher. This is the pass-go card of RE4 and trivializes the game. It's especially good against any boss you're stuck on, as it will defeat all in-game bosses in one hit no matter what. That's just plain broken. Sure, it's expensive, but you can't pass up such a powerhouse of a weapon. Not to mention, you can get infinite ammo on a New Game Plus. Alright, that's our list. I hope you enjoyed it. Become a Patreon member today by clicking on the link in the description below. By becoming a pro member, you can request your own list today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bonus round. Best guns in RE4 Classic. Go! The Handgun, the Punisher, the Mine Thrower, the Blacktail, the Matilda, the Shotgun, the Rifle, the Broken Butterfly, the Riot Gun, the HandCannon, the Killer 7, the Striker, the Semi-Auto Rifle, the TMP, the Chicago Typewriter, the Red 9, the Rocket Launcher, the PRL-412, and finally, Ashley's Ballistics.